Yo, what's up guys, I'm the Fire King and today I have our TE Season 1 Week number 3 matchup and we're going up against a very good buddy of mine. He goes by the name of Sniper. He is coach of the S.Sharpedos and he's also with us in our other league, which is the PWC, currently in its off season. And we go into this matchup with a 2-0 record and a +7 differential. So we're 2-0 with a +7 differential, and Sniper's 1-1 with a -1 differential. And we're currently in first place in our division and first place overall in the league, and we want to keep it that way. So we gotta, keep picking up these W's. But Sniper's a tough opponent, and this is gonna be a hard battle, but we're gonna try to pull through. Like I said, because Sniper's a very good opponent. And before I get into this matchup, let me go over my team a little bit. I brought my specially defensive Mega Venusaur with Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, Hidden Power, Fire, and Synthesis. And then I got a M.Victinis with holding the Wise Glasses with Blue Flare, Psyshock, Energy Ball, and U-Turn. U-Turn is just there for momentum. I got my physically defensive Lando holding the Leftovers with EQ, Rock Slide, Knockoff, and U-Turn. Greninja holding the Expert Belt with Skull, Dark Pulse, Ice Beam, and U-Turn. U-Turn is just there for momentum. Registeel, specially defensive, holding the Leftovers with Flash Cannon, Seismic Toss, Toxic, and Stealth Rocks. Gramble, physically defensive, holding the Leftovers with Play Rough, Super Fang, Toxic, and Heal Bell. And Gramble's making his debut for us here in the TEE. And I know it's only week 3, but the only 2 mons I have not brought is Salamence and my Dusknoir. So right here, my Lando and my Gramble are my Intimidate core to take on that Lopunny. But I got to scout for an Ice Punch from that Lopunny onto my Lando, because like I said, a Sniper's a good opponent. I'm pretty sure he's going to pack it. And Sniper brought his Magearna, his Latias, Arcanine, Rotom Wash, Mega Lopunny, and Mandibus. Sorry, I want to lead off with my Venusaur so I could click that Mega Evolution button right off the bat. But I was kind of scared if he would lead the Latias or the Lopunny just to get that Mega Evolution right away also. So I ended up leading with my Gramble. As we see here, he leads off with his Rotom. And like I said, I should let off with my Mega Venusaur, but I didn't. Or with my Venusaur so I could get that Mega Evolution button. And he switches out. I go into my Mega Venusaur and he goes for a Volt. And he goes on to the Latias, so I can't stay in and get my Mega off. So I go on to my Registeel. Eat up the Psychic. He shows that he's Life Orb, which is good for me because Registeel can eat up hits for days from that Latias. And here I'm just going to throw my rocks as he goes on to his Arcanine. And the rocks are going to start chipping down on his team little by little. And then here he pulls a nice double, because I go into my Gramble on the Arcanine and he pulls that double into Rotom. So now I got to switch back out into my Registeel as he goes for a Volt. And here he goes on to his Mega Lopunny. And like I said, I can't stay in here on a high jump kick. A potentially high jump kick most likely. So I'm going to go into my Gramble, get that Intimidate drop. He's at -1 now. And now he's Mega as he goes for a return. It does 26% to me. But then I get some of it back with Leftovers. Here he switches out. I believe I went for a Super Fang here, because anything was going to lose half of its health. And the Magearna loses half of his health. Sorry. And there I go into my Venusaur so I could get that Mega off, and he goes for a Volt. And again, he's going to go into the Latias, so it prevents me from going for my Mega Evolution. But it's okay. Hopefully I get it soon. Here he pulls a nice double again, knowing I was going to go into Registeel. He goes onto his Arcanine. So again, I can't stay in, but these rocks are helping me, like I said, chipping down on his team little by little. And here I can't stay in. I go on to my Gramble, and here he shows with the Flamethrower that he's a special attacking Arcanine. Makes sense because, like I said, I have potentially three Intimidators on my team: Lando, Gramble, and the Salamence. So here I go on to my Greninja as he goes for a Flamethrower. It does 24% to me. And here I'm just going to go for a Skull, hoping for a Skull Burn on something. He goes to the Rotom. I go for that Skull. It does 13% to the Rotom. And then I'm just going to go for a U-turn. And out into my Registeel, because I know he's just going to go for a Volt Switch. I don't want my Venusaur taking any more damage. And Registeel, he could take hits for days. Here he goes on to his low pony. Like I said, I can't take a potential high jump kick coming my way. So I'm going to go back into the ground bull, get another Intimidate drop on him, and just, eat up these hits. But my ground bull little by little is getting weakened. You see now he's at 24% health. And here, if I'm not mistaken, I go for, what was it? Toxic, I think. On the coming Arcanine, I go for the Toxic. I land it. So now this Arcanine is on the timer. And he's a special attacking Arcanine. So I'm going to go into my Venusaur. I'm not Mega yet, so this first Flamethrower is going to hurt. But I keyed up the second one. So there's the first one. It's 43% to me. I'm not Mega. I don't have that Thick Fat ability yet. And he gets the burn. It sucks, but, part of the game. So now I'm going to go for my Mega Evolution button. I keyed up the Flamethrower and then go for Synthesis. So I could get at a high amount of health. And I go for the Synthesis. I'm just going to go for another one. Because like I said, I want my Mega Venusaur at a good amount of health. And he switches out here into his Latias. No, into the Mandibuzz, sorry. He goes into the Mandibuzz. And I see this opportunity to go into Victini. That way I could get a big hit on something. So I bring back my Mega Venusaur. I go on to Victini. Something's taking a big hit with the Blue Flare. As Mandibuzz goes for the Defog. So something's taking a big hit with the Blue Flare. Even if it's the Arcanine, I have a Psyshock for it. If it's the Rotom, I have a... he's going to take a Blue Flare, then an Energy Ball. I went for the Blue Flare. On the Mandibuzz, he went for a Roost. I go for another one. That's 48%. And here he goes for a Toxic. Now putting my Victini on the timer now. It's fine. Like I said, something's dying here or taking a big hit. He brings back the Mandibuzz. He goes on to the Rotom. He takes a Blue Flare, and then I have Energy Ball. So I'm just going to click Energy Ball and knock out this Rotom. Hopefully, he's going to stay in. And at turn 23, something finally goes down. Like I said, me and Sniper are just fighting for momentum. I think I'm winning at this point. Here he goes on to the Latias. I don't want my Victini taking a Draco, so I'm going to go into my Registeel. Eat up that Draco. And now now I believe I just go for rocks because I want these rocks up because we're both doing a lot of switching. So there goes those rocks every time. I want to put in a Sniper every time he wants to switch in and switch out. Like I said, I'm going to switch out here into a Ground Bull, get that Intimidate drop. And she goes for a Fake Out. And here I believe I go for a Super Fang into the Magearna. And I go for Super Fang and I miss. Part of the game. It's okay. Here I'm going to switch on to my Mega Venusaur now. As he goes for a Flash Cannon. Does 27% to me. And then I'm going to go for a Hidden Power Fire. Does 28% to the Magearna. And there he goes for a Flash Cannon. I'm just going to go for Synthesis. Because I want my Mega Venusaur again at a good amount of health. As he pulls back the Magearna. Goes on to the Latias. So I just go for the Synthesis. I'm at a good amount of health now. And like I said, I'm going to go into Registeel all day, every day. On this Latias. As he goes for a Psychic. Does 15% to me. I'm eating it up. Then he takes a Life Orb damage. It's basically he's basically hurting himself more than he's hurting me. Here he switches out into the Arcanine. As I went for a Seismic Toss, if I'm not mistaken. There goes a Seismic Toss. Registeel taking out the Arcanine. We're up 6-4 at this point. And here he goes on to Little Pony. And here I'm going to my Lando. Because there's no, if he has Ice Punch, there's no way he's going to go for it on my Lando. So he goes, I get the Intimidate drop. He gets goes for a return, gets a crit. And now I'm going to pull back my Lando, go into Gramble, scouting for the Ice Punch. Now he's at -2. There's that Ice Punch, does 10% to me. I knew Sniper was going to carry it, because like I said, Sniper's a good opponent. And he pulls back his Mega Lopunny as I go for a Play Rough, taking out the Magearna. So we're in a good position here. We're up 6-3. Here he goes up into the Latias. And you guys know my switch into this thing is going to be my Registeel. As he goes for a Roost. And if I'm not mistaken, here I go for a Toxic. Because either something's going to get Toxic. One of his Mons is going to get Toxic. If I don't miss, he goes for a Psychic. As I go for the Toxic, putting this Latias on a timer now. And here he goes for the Psychic, does 15% to me. He takes a Life Orb, then Toxic damage, and then my Seismic Toss. And here he goes for a Roost. It's fine. I don't mind. I'm winning this 1v1. I go for another Seismic Toss. As he goes for what was it? Oh, he already went. Sorry. And one more seismic toss will knock him out. Here he goes for a psychic, gets a critical hit on me. He takes life orb damage, and I'm gonna knock him out with the seismic toss. And Registeel taking out, the Arcanine on the Latias at this point. And here he goes onto his Lopunny. I'm gonna go back into Gramble, get that Intimidate drop. As he goes for a return, does 24% to me. And I know that Ice Punch is coming, so I'm gonna go into my Gramble. This Intimidate core is making this Mega Lopunny useless at some point, or basically he is. Goes for the Ice Punch, does 10% to me. And here I'm just gonna go for a Play Rough, because if he stays in, the Mega Lopunny goes down. If he switches out, Mandibuzz goes down. So he goes into Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz is taken down. So now it's his Mega Lopunny against the world. And I'm gonna switch out into my Lando, get that Intimidate drop. Hopefully he doesn't go for the Ice Punch. As he goes for a return, does 25% to me. One more will knock me out, but I'm playing for differential. So I'm going to go back onto my Gramble, get a second Intimidate drop. Now this Mega Lopunny's at -2. As he goes for a return, does 20% to me. I could take another one barring a crit, and my Play Rough will knock him out. He goes for a return, doesn't get a crit. I live on 6. I go for a Play Rough, knocking out the Mega Lopunny, and that is GG. And the Minnesota Victinis pick up a huge 6-0 win over my good buddy Sniper. And Gramble has to be the MVP of this match. His first game he came to, and he picked up 3 kills. He took out Magearna, Mandibuzz, Mega Lopunny. Registeel took out Arcanine and Latias. Victini took out Rotom Wash. And we are now, 3-0 with a plus 13 differential. And after this week number 3, we're still in first place in the league, first place overall. Well, first place in our division, first place overall in the league. And the league leader, I'm pretty sure he's the league leader, and the leader in kills in our team is Registeel, surprisingly, with 5 kills and 1 death. And I know my Mega Venusaur has 3 kills also, has 3 kills and 0 deaths if I'm not mistaken, and Gramble has 3 kills, 0 deaths, and Greninja has 3 kills and 1 death. But Registeel, surprisingly has 5 kills with 1 death, leading the team, and I'm pretty sure the league in kills. I gotta double check that one. And I'm gonna leave Sniper's link down below. He's a cool guy, also with my good buddy Joel and my good buddy the OP Jellicent, who does my thumbnails, and he's in the league also, and we face him next week. So I'm gonna leave those 3 guys linked down below. Make sure to go check them out. Super cool guys. And like I said, next week I will be seeing the OP Jellicent. And let's go Minnesota Victinis. With that said, I will catch you guys next time. Later.